What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Hope you're having a fantastic day. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at my top 10 class setups for Call of Duty Mobile ranked. I'm going to be trying to go through this video very fast. I'm going to try to get it done in like under 5 minutes. So I'm just going to briefly explain at the start why I use certain perks for certain classes, and also why I use my secondaries. And they're pretty similar for the most part in most of my classes here. So I hope you guys do enjoy this short format where I pack a bunch of information in. If you do, hit the like button, hit the sub button, and let's get into our first class. Our first class is actually a sniper. It's the DLQ, which is personally, after the little patch, my favorite sniper now. Here is my attachments. I think I showed them in my last video, actually. It's mainly for ADS spread, and I use FMJ to shoot through walls. And my secondary and perks are going to be the same for pretty much every sniper. I use the MW11 secondary, just in case I get a hit marker at close range, I can just pull it out, hip fire, and get that kill. And then I use tac mask. I always use this on literally every class. I think it's the best blue perk for my play style. I also run toughness because I'm sniping a lot on search and destroy, so there's not really going to be shock RCs or hunter killer drones in the air to kill you with. And I also like to run agile because you're going to be able to zoom in a lot faster after you're done sprinting and get those close range quick scopes, because snipers are very broken. I also run thermite and trophy. I run thermite for literally every single class. Sometimes I run smoke when I use an SMG class, as you'll see later in the video, but trophy is good because you play a little bit slower with snipers. So my next class is the Arctic 50. Everything else is literally the same exact as my DLQ, but I actually have an ACOG scope on the Arctic. I know it's a noob thing to do, but it's just really good. And also you need stopping power, of course, and everything else is for ADS speed. So moving on to our third class here, we actually use the Fennec. We're getting into our SMGs. I really love the Fennec. It's super good. It's the best close range SMG in the game, in my opinion. Here's my actual class for it. It's mainly focused on a little bit of recoil control, but mainly for that hip fire, which it's just known for. I do run smoke on this class because I like to be aggressive. I run the .5 GS pistol because it's pretty good at range, and this just gives you an option to challenge mid and long range fights if you're confident in your gun skill. I forgot to mention I also run the Annihilator on literally every single class because it's just my preferred operator skill. But I mean, you can use whatever you want, whatever you prefer, and whatever you're good with. And I run lightweight, of course, because I'm going to be rushing in. Cold-blooded because I do not want to get shock RC'd or hunter killer. That's really annoying when you're trying to play aggressive. And of course, tac mask. So moving on to our next SMG class, it's pretty much the same. I run a folding knife because I like it, but personally, if we're going to be really tryharding, I would put this pistol on again, just for those medium and long range fights. Everything else is literally the same. My class setup is I run a mono suppressor for a little bit more range. Everything else is for ADS speed and ADS spread. Really love this class setup. So moving on to the next one here, this is our last but not least SMG class. We actually have the QQ9. Now, you might notice I run suppressor on a lot of my SMGs, and that's because they're not that strong in today's meta. There's the Man of War, the DRH, and the ASM-10. They all 3-shot, so you're going to lose a lot of close-range gunfights with this, and medium range, of course. So I don't like them to know where I'm actually shooting from. That's why I run suppressor. Everything else for recoil control and for mobility. So we're moving on to our next class, the DRH, my absolute favorite assault rifle in the game. Let me show you the class. It's mainly focused for ADS spread because the DRH has a ton. I really love this. I got this build from, actually, I forget what pro player, but it's a very good class. MW11 because a lot of the times when you pull it out, you're going to be in a close range gunfight, and it's just good at close range. I run thermite, trophy system, of course, and then I like to run this perk, fast recover, on my assault rifle classes. I don't know, I think it's really good. That way you can just get right back into the gunfight. Cold-blooded, of course. I'm only really run toughness when I'm playing search and destroy. Moving on to our Man of War class, best gun in the game in my personal opinion. I do run red dot on here. If you have a skin which you like the iron sight for, I would just take off red dot, either put on a stock or an underbarrel. I mainly focus this a little bit on recoil control and ADS spread, which is just the best thing to do whenever you make a assault rifle class. Obviously, everything else is the same as my DRH. Moving on, we have the LK here. Everything else is also the same except for toughness. I like to run toughness on this class because you're going to be challenging a lot of long range gunfights. You really don't want to flinch, and shock RCs are not going to really be a big deal since you're going to be playing slower and kind of back a bit with the LK. So here's my actual build for it. I do run suppressor because it does have a little bit less damage than the DRH and the ASM-10. Everything else, super basic ADS spread. Same thing with the red dot sight. If you have a good skin, take it off, put on either a stock or an underbarrel. So that's it for my assault rifles. Moving on, this is just a one of here. I have a shotgun. I prefer the KRM over the BY, even though they're pretty even weapons. It's just whatever you personally prefer. And I use the .5 pistol for that medium and long range gunfight. Here's my class setup for it. Just extended barrel Marauder, just pretty basic. Just give you some extra range for a shotgun. I like it a lot. I enjoy it, and I get nice feeds with it. I probably shouldn't actually use a trophy. I should definitely use a smoke. I'm not really sure why that's on there. Thermite, of course. Moving on to our last class, which might surprise you a bit. This is one where you can do whatever you want. You could put a chopper on here if you want, but I love to have one LMG in my classes. I love the M4 LMG. I think it's super underrated. It has a lot of mobility, very little recoil, and a good mag and good kill time too. So this is pretty basic. I showed it in my last video. I don't really think I need to explain it. It's just mainly ADS spread accuracy control. And then, of course, I treat this like an assault rifle, so I'm going to be running fast recover on it. The trophy system, because you don't want to be naded at range, and MW11 for close range fights. So that's my top 10 classes for Call of Duty Mobile ranked right now. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the sub button, and I'll see you guys later.